Welcome to the Vincent Charles Project. I'm your host, Mr. Vincent Charles. Thank you for joining us on this lovely Sunday evening, and let's get right to it. First and foremost, let me introduce my two esteemed colleagues. Um, Jeff is taking the night off after a very busy weekend. And Jeff, if you're listening, it was awesome, dude. But first and foremost, you know him. You love him, mostly because he hasn't been banned on Twitter recently. So let's get him. Mr. Ordnance Packard. Ordy, how you doing?
I'm finer than frog's hair after our cinematic mirror day.
Yes.
No, I'm great. It's, kind of cloudy, but 62 degrees and wonderful spring Sunday in sunny California. Except we're supposed to get snow tonight. So, anyway, I'm fantastic, though.
Snow, you say?
Yes.
Okay, in late April. That's, that's kind of fucked up. But,
Well, if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes, it'll change.
exactly. And a person who is probably very, very angry at Ordy and I. Do you know what it was?
Once more, we play our dangerous game.
That was
all right.
fantastic in the play.
No, thanks. Like I said, I debated going, of doing the Sean Connery voice the entire time, or flipping back and forth, or even just doing my regular voice. But I'm glad I went with the good old Sean.
I'm glad you stuck with it.
I was gonna say something on that subject. I was gonna say something to Jeff in the after party, and the subject came up. Everybody pronouncing her character's name. It was Livesy or Livesy or what have you. And I was gonna say, I'm always gonna pronounce it Livesy because Rush's first drummer was John Livesy, and I just wanted to hear him like sputter and call me everything but a white man. Because if you know Jeff, you know of his extreme distaste for Rush. And yeah.
Oh, he loves it.
I thought it was just about Geddy Lee.
No.
Yeah, it's just basically Geddy Lee, but yeah.
Is it?
I mean, you could have Dean Martin as the lead singer of Rush, but...
Oh my god,
that would be fantastic.
Yeah,
and I don't know where I'm going with that, but
I'd pay cashy money to see that. Shit.
We got to, this project is so important. We've got to exhume the body of Dean Martin for this.
Okay. No, what we need to do is just get an AI to have Dean Martin sing a Rush song.
Floyd by Night.
Yeah,
White by Night.
Anyway, ladies
but nobody
and
asks, how are you, Vincent?
Oh,
how are you doing?
Nobody asks how the Vincent Charles is,
and that's okay because it's about putting our energy out to the people.
Yeah.
Watching these films, getting a reaction, teaching people about cinema de merde, and yeah, hang on. I forgot to put the chat in my thingy. And yeah, going on the big screen, it's Getty 100%. Because Jeff is listening. Awesome. We love you, brother. Let's get into it. The Michael Flatley extravaganza, known as Blackbird. A film written, produced, directed by, and starring the Lord of the Dance, Michael Flatley. And I'm not going to ask Ordy what he thought of it because I know what Ordy thinks of it because we share the same brain pretty much. And I'm just going to ask Janelle. Janelle, right off the bat, do not pull any punches. Okay?
Well, that was certainly a movie.
Yeah, don't pull any punches. Feel free to use profanity if you need to.
No.
What did you think?
Well, I think LA Story was a better movie.
Holy shit.
No,
God
it's like
damn it, Janelle.
No, if she said that she really hates this friggin' movie.
no,
No,
it more didn't. It's like a crappier version of Casablanca, and because you sent me the YouTube link, so I watched it through YouTube, and I noticed in the hashtags was the hashtag LMN, so I'm like Lifetime Movie Network. If you had told me this was a Lifetime movie, I would believe you. The thing is, it's probably a little too
Yes.
masculine to be a Lifetime movie.
Well, yeah.
Kind of too
many
much
attractive women.
explosions,
Yeah, I think
too
so.
many lighting women on fire. Well, Lifetime movie network. Let's face it, it's the Men Are Scum channel. Let's be real.
Yeah.
But
But damn, they can make Christmas.
no, that's
movies.
Hallmark.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry.
No, Lifetime Movie Network is men beating up women and then they overpower them, hopefully. Or they find two skeletons in the woods handcuffed to each other. That was the ending of one, I swear.
Find this movie. Oh my
I don't even remember. It was like this woman managed to kill her attacker, but he handcuffed himself to her leg or her arm. So then she falls back laughing, and then the last shot is they find two skeletons in the woods handcuffed to each other.
Oh god, yeah, I have to find that movie.
No idea what this movie was called. It was years ago. I saw the last 10 minutes. 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm finding it regardless. As soon as we go off air, I'm looking for this movie.
Chat GPT, don't let us down.
Exactly. But yeah, for those out in the audience who didn't watch the film, and I'm so sorry that you lack the courage to do such a thing, because this is an amazingly bad film. This is the okay in Hollywood, when a person writes, directs, and stars in a film, it's always known as a vanity project, because basically that's what it is. This is the ultimate expression of a vanity project. This is
Not nearly enough dancing in
I'm-
this movie.
yeah, there's one dance scene, but that's yeah. Oh, hang on. That's
If
going
we
on the
made
big
this
screen.
an action movie with Riverdance, they got the machine guns, they're tap dancing.
No, it could have been. It could have been. It could have been an action movie involving dance as a martial art. I mean, that Jim Cotta is one of the greatest bad movies ever made, and it's amazing and astounding. And you need to find it, and you need to watch
Oh, it's so
it, because
it's
it is
so
just
good.
chefkiss.gif. Jim Cotta, look for it. But
Oh, that's how you
this
spell
is
Jim
just-
Cotta. I was thinking
This is
Jim Jim and then Cotta.
Would it have been better if it would have been Gaim Kata?
Gaim? What's a gaim? Oh,
First
a
Simpsons reference.
gaim.
okay, and we're at
9 minutes in.
9 minutes
Yeah.
in. Awesome. Kudos to you. I'm
Power
Kang.
sauce.
I'm Kang. This is my sister. Kudos. No. But basically, in rough strokes, this is the plot of the movie. Michael Flatley plays a spy, the greatest spy ever, according to his former coworkers and comrades, who has a personal incident during a mission. And I'm not going to worry about spoilers. Fuck it. His girlfriend got burned alive, or was it his wife? I don't know.
Fiance.
They never really make that clear.
No, it's fiance.
Fiance.
You didn't even know her name until the end when he's standing at her grave.
Shit, she had a name?
Grace.
That was her name?
Did you even watch the
Oh.
movie, Janelle?
Well, here's
Jeez.
the thing. Here's the thing.
God damn it,
No, I
Janelle.
sat through it, but after a while, I picked up my embroidery and started working on that while watching the movie. Here's the thing. The plot was so simple that I could follow that and work on my embroidery.
And here I am.
She does have a point.
staring at it raptly on a 34-inch monitor, literally less than a foot from my face.
Just absorbing
Just,
all that
just
Lord
taking
of
it
the
all
Dance
in with the
energy.
EM radiation that it was destined to produce.
Oh, but back to it. Michael Flatley has a job-related incident. His fiance, who went on a mission with him, God knows why, but she gets burned alive, and there's a gunplay involved and a lot of PTSD on his end. And he leaves the business and he opens up a bar slash restaurant slash dance hall in Barbados, and it's called the Blue Moon. And you get severe Casablanca vibes by looking at it.
Yep.
This movie is basically a hybrid of, let's see, what was that?
Skyfall and Casablanca.
Yes, I was thinking of the right James Bond movie. I was going to say On Her Majesty's Secret Service because
Also good.
Bond's wife gets killed in that one. And okay, either Her Majesty's Secret Service or Skyfall had a baby with Casablanca.
Riverdance.
Yeah.
And this is what would be untimely farted from the womb. But
You keep using
All
pejorative
of the
descriptions for
movie
this.
And do intricate frontal lobe surgery on a monkey for a research project.
that had to go on the big screen. But naturally, Michael Flatley, he's running the business. He's doing the whole Rick thing. Rick Blaine, Michael Flatley, Rick Blaine, Michael Flatley. Awesome. And well, one thing leads to another, and trouble finds Michael Flatley at the Blue Moon. And it basically involves Eric Roberts, which was the only redeeming quality of this film. Or at least
God, the man works.
The man
works.
See, I didn't
We were
know.
looking at his IMDb before in the green room. He's got 15 projects coming out this year alone.
The man has over 800 IMDb credits.
See, and I looked at him like, this guy looks way too sickly. Why is this woman with him other than he has money and power?
And that's going back to Star 80.
Yes. That was
the dude has never stopped working.
40 some odd years ago. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And let's see, Runaway Train, he was in that. That was another good one. The Pope of Greenwich Village, always a favorite. They took my thumbs. Yeah. Fucking awesome. At one point he was a very good actor. Well, he kind of still is, but
no, he was great in this.
Well, everybody gets old.
Yeah,
I get old, you get old, we all get old.
Yeah, exactly. Having just had a birthday, yeah, I understand this. But
wait, did I miss your birthday?
Yeah, it was like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you. Nice to know you're keeping on top of things. But he's a good actor. He's done some very good things. But he's reached the point in his career where, like you say, he's just working. He doesn't care what he's in. He's just working. And he's just putting the checks in the bank. And good on him. He found a formula that works for him, and he's sticking to it, which is awesome.
Well, he's building hospitals and orphanages.
The poker scene, oh my God.
They were trying to do James Bond so hard.
Yes, exactly. We need the psychoanalysis / poker scene in this, because
everybody's airing their business in front of a crowd of people watching.
No, seriously.
They both they're just dumping out each other's purses all over the poker table. And
other than Eric Roberts and Michael Flatley, who people recognize, I think the only other guy who's at least somewhat recognizable was his buddy. What was his name? Nick. And he was the guy in Game of Thrones. So people will know him from that. But one thing leads to another. Rick Blaine. Michael Flatley gets reunited with an old work comrade who is blonde and has huge boobs, and
Can't
Yeah.
really act.
no, cannot act. And
First of all, the boobs weren't that huge, and the
compared to
nose
most,
was
yeah, I think the person with the biggest breasts in this movie was the lounge singer.
Michael
I forgot
Flatley.
her
No.
name. No, although that one scene where he's shaving in front of the mirror in the back in the bathroom, and he's like, what? He's pushing 70, but that guy's ripped.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
That guy's in amazing shape for being as old as he is.
If you
His
go
calves are still fucking.
If you go to IMDb and look up Blackbird, there is a picture from the movie done in black and white, and it looks like it could have been in Casablanca.
Okay, now I gotta
Hang
look.
on.
God,
It's at the
damn it.
poker table. Yep. White tux, black tie.
Yep. Like came up right away for me.
Okay, you almost expect to see him chain smoking Chesterfields. Holy shit.
Yep.
Okay, I'm keeping that. That may go on my profile header.
You gotta Photoshop your face over his face, though.
Oh God, no, we won't be doing that. We will not be doing that.
But I did write out a little thing about the whole love triangle.
Yes, please do. But go
Okay,
right ahead.
so I'll just read what I wrote down, and you just interject when you want, all right? So the whole reason the love triangle of Casablanca worked is because nobody was really at fault. Rick happened to fall in love with Ilsa. Ilsa thought she was widowed. Victor Laszlo was in a prison camp. You can sympathize with each character. You might want Rick and Ilsa to get together, but Victor didn't do anything wrong. Why should he be punished? It's a conundrum for both the viewer and the characters in the story. With Blackbird, the lines are far less gray and it's far less interesting. Victor, this Victor, is clearly the good guy. Vivian is kind of dumb for getting involved with a guy she was supposed to be keeping an eye on. And Blake is clearly a villain, a sickly looking villain that you have to wonder why Vivian is interested in him, besides power and money, because he was not hot.
Hey, that's Eric Roberts you're talking about.
He was not hot.
Okay. I have words.
Uh-oh.
First of all, let's give credit to the hardest working cast members of this movie. And that was the outfits of most of the female leads in it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Barely holding everything in.
Yes.
Which, again, I don't get the appeal of Vivian when you have Kaz and Madeline. Madeline shows up in the dude's room and just drops her shit right there.
Yep.
You get a little side boob from it, but the thing is, Madeline looked exactly like the wife. I thought they were twins.
Oh.
I actually thought they were twins through this whole thing. And then I realized, no, couldn't even be close.
This
when
isn't
you actually
Buckaroo
look at
Banzai.
Right. And that too, it's not Buckaroo Banzai. So, that we've already delved into that.
The psychology
weird-
of that.
That whole dynamic. Yeah.
But this movie was fantastic as a documentary about the plight of a large Irish population in Barbados.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more.
Everybody at the Blue Moon is Irish. Everybody working at the Blue Moon was part of or associated with the Chieftains, which is the spy organization that Flatley was the leader of until things happened and he didn't. Yes. I even bothered to remember the name of the organization. I was that into this movie.
Well,
This movie is fantastic.
It's mentioned several times. And
yes, but nobody seemed to mention it until now.
Yeah, and no, I meant mentioned in the film several times.
Yeah,
but
right.
especially at the end where Madeline talks to Patrick Bergen, who is somehow in this movie, for reasons
that pass understanding, but still.
And he mentions the chieftains and all that other good stuff, and then goes into that speech. They'll never know what we do, and all that bullshit. And the
There's
one
Section
thing,
31.
yes, the the whole thing about a vanity project, especially if you had a hand in writing it and you're acting in it, is all of these people saying, "Oh, how the main character, he's a badass. He ran the chieftains. He's a really good dancer. Um, he owns a club that's just like Rick's Cafe American in Casablanca." And all these people are saying these lines, and they're doing it with a straight face. That is acting. That
Yeah,
is the essence of
of acting.
professional acting, and I love it.
Yeah, I'll give Flatley this. Not only did he write it, produce it, direct it, and acted in it, um, he financed the production. He's self made this, and you can call it a vanity project. It's a passion project. All right, you can
Okay, I'll give
feel
you
that
that.
in
I'll give you
this.
that.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay, that's fair.
he put his money where his mouth is. He couldn't get distribution from. He showed it at film festivals. Nobody wanted it. I don't understand why. It's amazing. It's an amazing movie. And then finally some like little theatrical group in UK and Ireland said, all right, fuck it. And it got a limited release there in 2022, 5 years after it was made. But yeah.
I think the one thing that surprised me about this film the first time I saw it, because I didn't know, all the financing issues and all the other stuff, the problems getting it distributed and everything. And everyone was saying, "Oh my God, this is a horrible film. This is a horrible film." Yeah, the plot is derivative. The acting is abysmal. But when you look at this movie was really, really well shot.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
mean, the cinematography, the lighting,
Colors.
the colors, all of the technical
The
aspects of
support,
this film.
all the extras and everything in it were all everything was in it was on point. It was like not just Casablanca, but like every Monaco casino that James Bond ever set foot in. It was like that, just on a smaller scale. Because apparently they only had a Texas Hold'em table.
Yeah,
Oh.
but like I said, the way it was shot, the way the film looks, for what I think, what did he spend on making this movie? I think it was like $3.5, $4 million, something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that. I'd have to double check, but that sounds about right.
But for a movie that costs less than $5 million, it looks amazing.
Yeah, it's really beautifully shot.
Yeah.
But then you look at the film and how beautiful it is, but then you have to come back to the acting. The professionals in the cast. I mean, Eric Roberts, Game of Thrones guy. There was another guy that I've seen before. I can't remember where I saw
The
him.
guy who played his loyal foot soldier, I'm drawing a blank on his
Yeah, he did a couple of things that he was really good in, but
Matadi.
you can tell they're carrying the weight of this film on their shoulders because no one else is stepping up, and that's okay. Not everyone is cut out to be an actor, especially
Eric Roberts came out to defense with Flattery on this too when he was getting panned.
I'm sorry, what was that?
No, Eric Roberts came out to defend in Flatley's defense with us when it was getting panned as a vanity project.
Yeah.
He said that the reviews were entirely too harsh. There's not an iota of vanity in this generous, spirited guy. I loved doing this movie.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, and like we said, Eric Roberts has 400 credits to his name. So if anybody's going to know,
It'll be
it's
him.
Eric Roberts.
Exactly.
Right. There is something I can appreciate in the movie. The fact that they are just kind of unashamedly Catholic. And this could be because, I'm a practicing Catholic and I appreciate when, it's on screen.
Well, they're Irish.
Yeah, that too. But just like, bringing up religion and it's just like a natural part of the production. Yeah, I appreciate that. It's not like forced like a lot of the Protestant productions. where it's like, oh, we got to start quoting the Bible. Like, no, this felt like natural, and I appreciated that.
Are you speaking ill of Mount Hideaway Mysteries?
A little bit. Listen, we got to stop and we got to pray about it.
Okay.
I'm just saying, I appreciate the sentiment, but you got to make it feel natural. Which I feel like that it was natural here, where he's about to do like the final showdown at the end, and he goes to the priest to do his confession in 10 years. And
Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned and I am about to sin again.
Yes!
And again. You got to throw the action star growl into it.
Yeah.
Awesome. But yeah.
Oh no, he was 100% brooding through this whole movie. He was like an emo fucking,
I was gonna say emo Bond, but yeah, Bond has gotten emo over the last 5 films, so yeah.
I was thinking emo Phillips.
God damn it,
And then we gotta go meet the guy and avenge my fiance's death.
But first, we pray about it.
Right.
No, I mean, but you're right. That you have a legitimate point. They were very Irish Catholic in this, and very very unapologetic about it.
Yeah.
And yeah, because when you look at it from that perspective, having grown up Catholic, I can appreciate it as well, but it tends to mimic the actual modern attitude of most Catholics, because a lot of them that I know, they don't proselytize, they don't get in people's face. It's okay, I'm going to go to church, and that's all you're going to hear.
Right.
They go to church, they go to the service, they wait for the priest, they go to confession, bing, bam, boom, out of the door, and then they go have breakfast. And that's, how most Catholics I know are. And, they don't draw attention to themselves. They don't pop out of the church door and say, I am right with God, and I'm going to pray about it, like they do at Mount Hideaway.
Right.
The facility, the spy facility.
While we're on the subject, let's talk about the beginning of the movie when Kaz is dressed as a nun. That really satisfied my hot nun tongue kiss fetish.
Yeah, that was a bold move in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That was like, oh my.
Well, I wasn't too shocked about that, I suppose, because there is an episode of the A-Team where Murdoch dresses up as a nun for a couple of scenes.
Yeah, but Murdoch didn't French kiss anybody.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
I'd be concerned if he did.
Oh,
and remember,
some holoprogram.
Nuns don't work on Sunday.
Yes. Except you gotta say like nuns don't work on, and then you do the combat roll and shoot the nun off the ladder.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I missed that show. It was so much fun. But
yes, that was
yeah. So I kind of when I put the tweets out, I gin this up as a really, really bad movie, and in a lot of ways it is. Like I said, the acting is terrible. The story is iffy. There's a lot more they could have done with this. Story.
There's some good ideas here.
Yes, absolutely.
Your suspension of disbelief definitely gets a workout in this one.
Oh, geez, that's your suspension of disbelief is spending 2 hours on the Peloton. Yeah, because it has to.
Yeah, we got a formula that can just kill everybody, make them all sick.
Yeah, select.
The thing is, the formula can cure all disease, but change one element of it, and it destroys the immune system.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, because that's
your
MacGuffin for the film, basically.
Right.
Yeah, because if you weren't embroidering, you would have caught that very nuanced detail in it.
Hey, it was a very nice embroidery project.
I mean, sure.
God damn it, Janelle.
But that's the thing. The film, the plot is like simple enough that you can work on a project. You know, it doesn't have to be embroidery. You could do metal models, like I also like to do. You could
Well,
probably do
apparently you
woodworking.
missed a big.
I knew
you
it was a
missed a-
dangerous formula.
But it was a save the world formula too.
But what's it going to be
See,
used to save the world?
There's a good and a bad side to everything.
A yin and a yang, if you will.
Yes.
Glass half full, Janelle.
Hey, the Borg could assimilate everybody into being real peaceful too.
Yeah.
In theory, communism works.
In theory.
But like I was saying, the plot is simplistic. There were a lot more elements that could have been built up on, and they could have gone in several different directions with it. And the acting, with the exception of one or two individuals, was abysmal. And there's good sides to it. Like I said, the movie was shot beautifully. It was edited pretty well, and it's just it. I want to say it belongs in like the pantheon of truly shitty films, but I have to walk that back a bit. I have to say no, because there are good points about it. I mean, is it on the level of, say, Tiptoes? No, because few things are. Is it on the level of The Room? Almost, because almost, because Tommy Wiseau, he got lightning in a bottle with The Room.
Oh,
that was the perfect confluence of complete and total bullshit, bad everything, and he didn't realize it, because everything he's done since is complete shit. Or you can bring up Neil Breen, who's, if you know. But Neil Breen's films have gotten to the point where he knows that his earlier films were shit, so he's basically riffing on that. He's self-aware. He knows how bad his movies are, and he's making them that way.
He's leaning into it.
Completely tongue-in-cheek, leaning into it, and in a way that's like his last two films just completely sucked the magic out of him for me. Because he's in on the jokes. He knows. So that burns it right away for me. This, like you said, this film was a passion project. And while it didn't turn out the way he thought it was going to turn out, because,
Or did.
Yeah, it's a bad movie, but
it could have been worse.
Exactly. It could have been a lot worse. And for a first time attempt, I can rip into him all the live long day. I can tell him what he did wrong. I can tell him how to do this, how to do that. But in the end, he went out and he made a film. Not a lot of people do that.
And put all his money into it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So good on him. It didn't turn out the way
one of my favorite.
It's good.
One of my favorite parts, aside from the whole ending, which the one thing this could easily, well, not easily. They'd have to make a few edits, but it could definitely be shown on the Inspirational Network or something. Like it was, for the subject matter it touched on, it was actually quite clean. All the violence kind of happened off screen, except for the burning of the fiance repeatedly.
Right.
The flashbacks of that.
Oh, and the guy got his head shot off.
Yeah, and
or the
Matati
brain.
got his head shut off.
And the one guy on the boat got his neck broken.
Yeah. Yeah, the boat captain or whatever he was.
Yeah.
Wait, did only 3 people die in this movie?
Well, no, because Flatley beat Quan to death too.
That was
You know,
that was a bit of wishful thinking right there. 'Cause
yeah,
Quan
especially
was-
doing it so quickly.
yeah.
But yeah. The one thing that kept coming back to me while watching this too, especially about the chieftains. So like this is an old organization, according to them, and so the events took place 10 years before the events in this movie, which means that they were a well-established covert operation by that point, which tells me they were probably IRA.
Oh.
I did not even think of that.
Oh.
Okay, Orty with the deep dive. Nice.
See, you know what? I
Yeah.
told you. I was wrapped. I was paying attention. I was connecting threads. I was,
You made up for me being half distracted during the movie.
yeah.
Yeah, he certainly did, Janelle. God damn it.
Hey, I was expecting a worse movie. I'm like, I could be working on something while I'm watching this.
I almost shot rum and tea on my nose on that one.
Yeah, but the one thing
By the
that
way,
we
it's
have
rum
to
instead of
address-
brandy because it's Irish breakfast tea and rum because the Irish in Barbados. See, I'm tying it together with my drink tonight.
Damn.
And we wouldn't have it any other way. But the one thing that we haven't addressed that we need to is Michael Flatley's hat fetish.
His hat was too small for his head.
It's fashion, Janelle. Look into it.
No, he needs a bigger hat.
No, that hat was a
I need a hat like Nathan Lane's in Birdcage.
oh my god.
And he needs
Okay,
to
but-
walk around with it.
Janelle, I want you to think about every time Miles wears a hat, though.
We're talking O'Brien, right?
Right. They are also always too small for his head.
Wait, when did he wear a hat?
Oh, there was some holodeck things, or am I just thinking of the Commitments?
Yeah, you're thinking of the Commitments. I think the only time I ever
Which is
saw-
another movie we got to
He
watch.
wore an eye
Yes.
patch for the Bond Hollow program.
Yeah, and he wore an aviator's cap when him and Julian did the Battle of Britain in the Hall
Well,
Suites.
I seem to. I don't know if it was Hell. I mean, I have Miles O'Brien in hats, so if it could have been Hell on Wheels, it could have been Commitments, but I have that image in my head, so I think it's an Irish thing.
Yeah, I think it was the Commitments. Yeah, had to be because
They're big into trilbies over there.
Yeah,
Janelle, have you seen the Commitments?
No, I'll
need
look it
to.
up.
you need to. You'll enjoy it.
1991.
Most people do. Yes.
Yeah.
Damn, oh, Maria Doyle Kennedy's in here.
Yes. Sure.
She was in a couple episodes of Downton Abbey.
Of course she was.
Yeah, let's face it. My thoughts on Downton Abbey could probably take up like a couple of podcasts because I got such a love-hate relationship with it now.
You
always
have a
start-
channel for that.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
always start up a channel. Like the Simpsons channel you were supposed to have started up.
Right?
But
Yeah,
that's for
I'm,
another time.
I'm just gonna say it. I enjoyed this movie. I really did. I know it's got a 2.5 on IMDb. Yes, the acting isn't great. Yes, the story, the plot is reaching. But as you said, the cinematography, and one of the things I picked up on too is that at no point was the underscore obnoxious, which
No.
he easily could have done.
Yes.
I mean, the only time you really noticed music was when they were at the bar singing Mac the Knife repeatedly.
Yeah.
I didn't think the singer was that great.
She was hot as fuck, though.
Fair.
Yeah, and that's why I can't figure out his queen, the blonde, because you've got Cass and what was your name? What was his
Madeline.
name? Madeline.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Madeline
his
Kahn.
fiancee Grace looked like Madeline and also looked like Kaz a little bit. You would think he'd have a type, but apparently not. I can't believe the accountant got credit in this.
Well, I will say with Vivian, she did look good in her outfits.
Oh, Jeff pointed out it was in Our Man Bashir that he wore not just the eye patch, but he had a hat.
Did he? Now I gotta look this up.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've done a DS9 binge watch. I need to start again.
Tappity tap tap.
And
I see eye patch. I still see eye patch.
okay, well that's a discussion for another time. We'll talk about that.
Yes, because we've never let the show get off the rails on.
No,
No.
not at all. Not at all.
We always stay on topic.
Exactly. It's what we do. It's what we're known for. But
All right. Our commitment to the craft. Yeah, but
Yeah.
okay. You were expecting me to want to call you everything but a white man, Vincent, and no, I can't.
Yeah, I can't either. I mean, I'd say the worst thing about this movie is it feels generic. And yeah, it didn't hold my interest that much, so much so I picked up my
Apparently.
embroidery. But it's like, yeah, I mean, it just feels like a generic Lifetime movie if men made Lifetime movies.
okay, that's a fair assessment. I can deal with that. Yeah.
By the way, we
Well,
need more
did
men
you-
making Lifetime movies.
Yes.
Janelle, if you go in the green room, Jeff posted a picture of Miles with a hat.
Let me take a look.
Okay, now I have to look. Yep.
That wasn't in that episode though.
No, but it,
It's-
yeah.
But it's calm meaning wearing a hat. Okay. Subject closed.
Right. We've confirmed he's worn a hat.
Oh, I'm glad we solved that mystery. Now it's time to get on to a Pooh's public nudity.
I am a freakazoid. Come on and wind me up. No time. They will plump in my stomach. Oh, Hank Azaria, you fucking sellout. No.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, be nice to Agador.
No.
No,
Hey.
no, I won't. Yeah, I have
No.
I have issue with him, but we'll leave it at that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But okay, overall, you're I know we've had overall impressions, but I need your final word, Janelle. Would you recommend this to anyone?
Not recommend, but I'd say there's worse things to waste your time on.
Okay. That's
That's about it. I'm pretty like about it. Like when I said like, yeah, that was certainly a movie.
It
was-
was something that was put on film
yes.
that people
Yeah.
have watched.
Okay, I'll put it to you this way. This or LA Story?
Well, LA Story.
Okay.
I mean, LA Story
You
did
don't
make
know
me smile a couple of times, a couple of
don't know.
chuckles.
How that makes me feel. I have the warm fuzzies now. That's awesome. And Orty? Would
Oh,
you
yeah. No, I'd
would you
recommend it.
recommend this to other people? Okay.
I absolutely would. I would recommend it to people who have our affinity for crap movies, but I would also sell it as, you know what? Excuse me. If you're looking for a spy movie, I've seen worse. It's good. You know, it's 90 minutes you won't regret much.
Much.
Okay. If it were a picture, it would go right there on the refrigerator door.
Right.
Nice.
It's not as bad as
Tom
Lisa
Hideaway was
Singing.
worse.
No, God, no. No, they're about the same film.
It's certainly no Secret Agent Super Dragon, but
It is that, or yeah, But if you have to choose between like that or Spy Kids, I would definitely say go with Blackbird,
Oh, definitely, because Spy Kids.
unless you're 12.
You know, I never did see Spy Kids.
Good. Keep it that way.
Yeah, and I would have
Hey,
been like the
fun
right
fact.
age when it came out too.
Fun fact: Spy Kids is in the same universe as fuck. What was that? Quentin Tarantino movie that was like not dark, not fuck. Hang on, I gotta look it up. Anyway,
Django Unchained.
no, but it was the one with like all the pulp movie reels in it, and Danny Trejo played a character called Machete.
Oh,
Okay, and then there was also
That's
the Danny Trejo movie Machete, but in Spy Kids, Danny Trejo plays Uncle Machete.
oh.
So they're all in the same universe. Bend your brain on that, chat. Grindhouse. That's the movie.
Okay, cool. Now we know. Because
Yeah.
for the life of me, I couldn't remember.
So,
But yeah, Tarantino movies tend to do that to me. They all just tend to like blur together.
they're all the same movie,
Yeah.
except for Four
exactly.
Rooms.
I don't think I've ever seen a Tarantino movie. Now that I
Good.
think about it.
Good. Keep it that way.
Yeah. He was supposed to do that Star Trek movie, wasn't he?
He would have done it better because he's actually a fan of Trek.
Mm.
He would have done it better than J.J. Abrams.
Anybody can do anything better than J.J. Abrams. We'll just put it that way.
I only
Except-
tolerate his
except when-
Trek movies.
Except lens flares. Nobody does lens flares like J.J. Abrams.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was afraid when he did Star Wars that my retinas would be burned out with the twin sons of Tatooine.
No, it
We have
wasn't
lens flare on
Tatooine.
our
It was
lens flare.
Jakku.
Yeah.
But it was Tatooine.
Yeah, it was the same movie.
Yeah.
Force Awakens was the same movie. Yeah,
I
as New
remember
Hope.
because I saw it with my dad and a couple of friends. And he came out of the theater and he's like, yeah, I've seen this movie before back in 1977.
Yeah, he's
That's a very, very astute gentleman.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But yes, Four Rooms. I don't know. I think Janelle might have a hard time with it, but Four Rooms is fantastic.
That's definitely something to look into. But yeah, I was going to suggest an actual good movie to do for next week. Until Ordy reminded me that we did a good movie last week, so we need to do at least one more shit film before we go ahead and bring out the big guns again. So
I don't know if Blackbird counts as a shit film, but okay. If you're
Yeah,
gonna die
it's
on that hill.
yeah, it's well, yeah,
It's
you
a
know what I mean.
film.
It's a film, and
I was expecting more of a shit show, and it's like, yeah, this is just generic.
I think that I was expecting much worse, and
yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised.
well, that's the thing. Got to keep you on your toes. But
In fact, Jeff, I suggest you watch it. I think you'd enjoy it, or at least not hate it.
and that's the
Needs more
important
Geddy
thing.
Lee though.
But I don't know. I'll figure out a movie we can watch. Probably.
I got one.
Oh, do tell.
Moonwalker.
Do tell.
I got one. I guarantee you, Janelle hasn't seen
Do tell, please.
Ice Pirates.
Oh my God, is that streaming anywhere?
I hope so.
Okay, hang on. Let's check Tubi.
Is it the Ice Pirates?
No,
It's not Ive. It's Ice. Curse these fat fingers.
Is that Robert Ulrich?
it's even one. I'm going
Barry
to.
Crosby.
I'm going to insist that if it's not streaming, Janelle source your local library. It's
Oh
probably in your DVD collection.
no, this isn't. A lot of things are. This isn't.
Okay, let's check Prime because it's not on Tubi.
And that blows my mind.
And no, it's rent or
No.
buy. Okay, final attempt. We're gonna check YouTube.
And then archive.org.
It has to be on YouTube.
No, it's not.
Fuck, who produced this? Are they clamping down on it that hard?
Yep,
It could be the Soviet Union produced it.
Yeah, Mosfilm made it.
Wait, I'm coming up. Tubi, free movies. Maybe it'll say it's not available. No, not available.
Okay, let's see.
I mean,
Change
come on,
plan.
Ron Perlman's in it.
Yeah, yay.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll pee on his hands. Let's see.
Oh, it's MG. It's MGM. Why is it not on IMDb or on Prime? They own the whole library.
I don't know, but I think I have a suitable substitute.
Okay.
Did you ever-
Moonwalker.
No. Shut. God damn it, Janelle.
Hey, that was a great video game.
Hear me out. 2 words. Star Crash.
Oh yes.
And it's on Tubi. Come
Hey,
on.
check and see if Star Hunter's on Tubi or Space Hunter.
Space Hunter? Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, a good 20 minutes of our episode is looking for movies on Tubi.
Okay, so yeah, Star Hunter or Star Crash and Space Hunter. Those are my nominations for the month.
Okay, yeah, I think we're gonna have to go with because Star Hunter is not on here, or Space Hunter, excuse me. Yeah, we're gonna go with Star Crash for next week's movie.
Okay.
And
Excellent.
if you're not familiar, ladies and gentlemen, well, what can you say about Star Crash? Well, you could say it has some A-list at the time actors. Let's see, we've got Christopher
Caroline
Plummer.
Munoz in that, right?
I'm sorry?
Munoz in that, right?
I think so. Yes. There's also Christopher Plummer, great Canadian Shakespearean actor. Sound of Music, a whole bunch of other stuff. Carolyn Monroe, Marjo Gortner, and
David Hasselhoff.
David Hasselhoff. Yes.
Oh shoot.
Yes.
We will not be hassling the Hoff with this one.
And if you're familiar with Italian directors, you know and love the works of Luigi Cozzi. And yeah, this is one of his best.
Yeah.
And
This
it's
is-
just
this is
this
a must.
movie
Hamilton
is so-
Camp. Is that who I think it is?
yeah, the guy from Soap. Yeah, everybody.
No,
remembers
is that
Hamilton
Luck
Camp
from
Soap.
DS9?
Yes.
Shoot, it's him. He was also in Too Close for Comfort.
Yes.
That's another dude that works.
Yes.
Well, worked. I think he's gone.
Worked. Yeah. Yeah. He passed away a few years
Well,
back.
yeah. Yeah,
But-
but still.
But yeah, if you're not familiar with the works of Luigi Cozzi, he made a bunch of really super derivative Italian rip-off sci-fi films, and this is one of them. Except it happens to be his best. And the plot for this is all over the place. The action is insane. The story itself is insane, and I am sure you are going to love it because, hell, I do. Mainly because of Carolyn Monroe, but don't say anything.
And Candy Clark.
Yes.
Don't forget Candy Clark.
Oh God, how can I? But yes, it's awesome. I just I remember actually seeing that. Me and my cousin. I used to go. My cousins lived in Connecticut, and I used to spend 2 weeks with them during the summer when I was younger. And I think this was. I forgot what Bond movie was at the same time. We were going to go see the James Bond movie, but the theater was full for that, so we couldn't get tickets for it. So we look up at this, and it's like, ooh, spaceships, and probably like Star Wars. Okay, so we go see Star Crash, and while we weren't disappointed, we were very disappointed. if you understand where I'm going from that. We expected Star Wars, and we just came out of there like, the fuck did we just watch? It was cool, but what the fuck did we just watch? So yeah,
Okay, I got one for you guys. See if you guys have seen it.
okay,
Because I have. Battle Beyond the Stars.
yes,
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Spaceship with
Thomas.
tits, yes,
Yes, that has been used royalty free in video games and B-list space
yes.
movies
The space battle
ever since
scenes,
15 minutes it was launched.
exactly. The space battle scenes in that film have been used as stock footage in every cheap sci-fi film for the last 40 some odd years.
There was a laser disc video game came out around the time as like Dragon's Lair that
Oh, okay.
all the space battle footage and it was that.
Was that Space Ace?
Yes,
Yes,
I believe so.
Okay.
No wait, or maybe it was something else, something similar, but I think so. Yeah.
Let me see. There might be
Oh,
a
I got it.
connections page on IMDb.
Oh, Jesus.
Hey, I know where to look.
One of these days, Orty, you're going to have to distract Janelle, and I'm going to put an IMDb block on her computer. So the next time she goes and looks for something, she won't be able to access the website.
Damn it.
You know, another one we can do, just putting it out there, and he may hate me because he's on hiatus right now, but he has a podcast on our network. I know Solar Crisis is on Tubi.
Oh, with
Corin
Nemec
Nemec
and Charlton Heston.
and Matheson, and yeah.
Okay, we'll stick a pin in that one. If not next week, certainly the week after. Yeah, we can
Let's see. I got Astron Belt for Battle Beyond the Stars.
Okay. Well, for video games?
Yeah, for the video games with the stock footage.
That sounds very unfamiliar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Video. Nah, it seems
my
like that's the
God.
only one.
And Milk Dud says Tubi has some great Haley Mills teen films if you want to change genres. Who knows? We very well could. You know, we can't just. Yeah, we can't just
Be
stick to a
sci-fi all
specific drama. They can't be sci-fi.
Well, no,
or
but I mean,
action all the time. We can do other things. I mean, we did Tiptoes for Christ's sake.
I mean, you can say that the Mount Hideaway murders were kind of teen film.
Kind of, yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, they kept flashing back to when they were teens.
Yeah.
And they weren't that far removed. It's like they all went to college and straight into the CIA from there and fucked up their first mission.
Yes. Oh God, I think those were like two of the best films we ever did on here.
I really need the Mount Hideaway morale patch.
Yes, we have to find that, and if we can't find it, then by God, I'll ask somebody.
We got to make it.
Yeah, somebody.
I'll reach
somebody
out to the dude. I'll just straight up reach out to the dude. Hey, can we do this show? We love your, we loved your two films. Can we please get the patch made?
You need something for the pipe fight too.
I want a 9-inch fully reticulated action figure of that girl swinging a pipe. That's what I want.
In wet leather pants.
They knew what they were doing.
Oh God,
boy, did they.
Oh, Jinx.
Hey, Al, you got a show tonight? I see you're in the chat. Because I know Jeff is taking tonight off.
Give the man a show. Let him do a show tonight. But yes, it's coming on that time, and we will go ahead and sign off for the evening. I hope you enjoyed yourself. We certainly enjoyed ourselves. At least
I enjoyed myself.
At least me and Orty did. But
I was neutral.
Al has a show tonight.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, stick around and listen to Al. But before we go, Orty, where can we find you, sir?
Oh, this is my busy week. Let's see. You can find me as Ordnance Packard on Twitter, surprisingly, still. You can find me this week, Tuesday night on Men Explained Poorly, Wednesday night on Rick and Orty, Thursday night on The Culture Shift, Friday night on The Curse of Stephaneros, and Saturday night on Juxtaposition. Sunday back here with YouTube plus Jeff again. And yeah, I'm only off tomorrow. You can get you can get a week chock full of Orty if you so choose.
Chock full of Orty is that heavenly coffee. Better coffee a millionaire's money can't buy. I bet nobody remembers that slogan. Janelle, where can we find you?
I was gonna say put that in the merch store. But you can find me at Janelle Waz on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, if that's your thing. Check out my YouTube channel because on Tuesdays I am streaming Star Trek The Next Generation, A Final Unity. And also check out my Friday video about the Space Hippies episode of the original Star Trek show, The Way to Eden. Be great if you checked it out.
Nice pitch, Herbert. I reach.
I'm just like, Adam, I'm begging you, speak normally.
Yes, but that is the perfect idea for merch. Just get a copy of the Chock full of Nuts coffee can and put Chock full of Orty. Yes. Yes, we are going to do that. Chock full of Orty, like your mom behind the circle. Oh, fuck yeah. That's going on the back of it. Alan, you absolute genius bastard, you. I love you. And you can find me on Twitter at Yes That Be Charles. You can find me here every Sunday evening at 6 o'clock with Janelle, Orty, and Jeff on the Vincent Charles Project. Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. You can find me on Men Explained Poorly with Orty, Rick, Jeff, me, and occasionally Delaney. And you can find me Friday nights on The Curse of Stephaneros at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's pretty much it. I don't work nearly as hard as Orty does. Orty is the hardest working man. He's the Eric Roberts of KLRN.
That's why they call me Horty. Well, one of the reasons.
Yeah. And on that note, we will go ahead and call it a night. Thank you so much for joining us and listening to us and allowing us to come into your lives with really shitty movies. And in the words of the late, great Vincent Price, a man who limits his interests limits his life. Take care.